You are my coconut water in the morning, my kalalu on a Sunday evening. The next thing I must explain, I want to be a passenger on your train. Girl, oh girl, and why don't you come over, come over? Why don't you come over? I am a bachelor. Why don't you come over? Why don't you come over? Why don't you? Why don't you?
If you're looking for me, baby, you will find me by the bar, drinking Hennessy, smoking on my Cuban cigar. You don't know me, baby, but you know we come from far. Now we're superstar, and we not forget. Baby, come with your crew. Meet us in Fifth Element or Deja Vu. Right now you're gonna get a little interview because you're lying inside with the Godfather crew.
Well, my name is Rodney, I might know a who. Along with Scarface and the Cheese to Brew. My boy Benja, he don't know what to do. And me bling blinging right now with the crew.
Hey, Renaldi, I heard you got your car.
And Bungie Gallin, you know we come from far.
We had the host girl lining by the bar.
Bungie, you know that we don't afraid of war.
So what they want? If you're looking for me, baby, you will find me by the bar, drinking Hennessy, smoking on my Cuban cigar. You don't know me, baby, but you know we come from far. Now we're superstar, and we can't forget ya.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good night, everybody. If you're now tuned in, this is Chandy, sweet and fluffy like pink cotton candy. We are on Watch Chubble on GMGT. Tonight, I have a very special guest in the building. You've seen him a couple of times wearing the CEO hat for CDC of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tonight, I believe he's wearing the Rodney Small hat. So I don't know what that means. We're going to find out tonight. But
EMGG.
yeah, we're going to get into that now. Let me see. I'm going to put your camera on, sir.
Well done.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you your intro, too.
Mm,
You ready?
I was ready.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start off the intro as follows. It's a quote that you said. My love for music is part of my spiritual being, and with God on my side, anything is possible. Everyone has dreams. Luckily for me, I'm living and enjoying mine and performing it day by day. Oh, God. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. Performing it for fans, right? So representing for the beautiful island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this distinguished gentleman has paved the way for himself and in the lives of many Vincentians throughout the diaspora. He is a renowned musical virtuoso on steel pan, change agent in production and presentation, a proud graduate of the Edna Manley College with first class honors, founder and CEO of the RS Academy, a leading talent development and cultural agency in St. Vincent, creator of the annual Steel Expression Concert Series, a national cultural treasure. He's a playwright and actor. His work has been featured on the big screen, Marshall's big movie, Bazodi. He has also performed across the Caribbean and internationally and is revered for his youth mentorship and commitment to cultural development. In 2020, the Honorable Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, officially appointed him as Cultural Ambassador. And as of March in 2025, he serves as the CEO of the Carnival Development Corporation, doing a fantastic job, I must say. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite to our table Mr. Rodney Small.
Good night. All of that, boy. As I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Take your flowers while you're here.
Blessings, Daslan. How you say that again? Shiny like candy, pink like cotton
Shandy,
candy.
sweet and fluffy like pink cotton candy. Thank you very much.
There's another fireman in the making. Plenty names. All right. Good night. It's a pleasure being here again. Well, in a different capacity.
Yes.
I hear this is a hot seat and also.
Yeah.
Watch Trouble.
Yes.
So we see what kind of trouble we're getting in tonight.
Not too much. I gotta respect the seat.
Well, I in a different seat, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's
Right,
true.
right,
so
so-
let me see how much steam I can pull out. So if anything, can you tell me if I missed anything that you want to share with us in regards to that?
No, you're good. As we
Okay.
go along, if anything, jump out, jump out.
Okay, good. So usually we ask this question. It's a staple question. What are 3 things you want people to remember you for before you leave here tonight?
Oh, wow. Well, my work, because I think that is part of the discussion. To bring some clarity to some of the misconception or the misinterpretations, right? And just a lover for my country.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah?
That's good.
You
That's
could,
great.
we could handle that?
I could handle that.
All right.
I could respect that. That sounds great. Sounds great. So are you familiar with the game This or That?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so This or That is where we ask a series of questions, right? Mm-hmm. Could be, for example, salt or sugar, and you pick which one.
No in between?
No in between. This game has no in between. It's
Plead
like
the fifth?
No, you can't plead the fifth. It's like I have a gun to your head and you have to make a choice right now. So we're gonna go with the first example: sugar or salt.
None.
That is not how you play the game. Sugar or salt. Okay, so
salt.
why salt?
I mean, salt in everything. I really not a fan of too much sugar.
Got it. All right. So you see, very simple, very to the point. All right.
For now.
For now. All right. So Dazzle and I would take turns asking questions. And sometimes we have some audience members that also speak in. So you'll take Twitch, I'll take Julian's promos.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
All right, so let's do it.
Wait. So it's 2 against 1?
No.
It's
Sometimes
not.
the audience may ask a question. if
And
they
so
have
we'll ask
something
you
to.
the question that they ask.
Okay.
So seeing
Okay.
that there's 2
All
platforms, I'll take one.
He's
and
taking,
Chandy will
All
take-
right.
I'll take Twitch, he's taking I'll take Julian's promos, he's taking Twitch. So with that being said, let's ask our questions. Sunset or Sparrow?
Sparrow.
Why?
Because I'm a more red rum drinker.
Okay. All right. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Okay. What's your favorite sweet thing to eat?
Cadbury chocolate.
Oh, you're a chocolate guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Raga or power?
Raga.
Okay. Favorite raga tune?
This island is mine.
That's like a no-brainer, right? Dennis Brown or Gregory Isaacs?
Wow. Dennis Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Dennis Brown?
There's so much. I don't have a favorite.
You have to choose one.
I don't have a favorite.
You have to choose
But
one.
that was not this or that though.
He's like, that's pressure. Mentor or supervisor?
Mentor.
Okay. Okay, so out of mentoring, like, what's your favorite thing to mentor? Kids, adults, what?
Definitely kids.
Okay. All right.
It's very simple. Somebody took the time out to nurture Rodney, man, and I feel I need to do the same.
Got you.
Fair.
CEO or musician?
Wow. Now,
Now.
CEO.
Okay. For real?
Yeah.
Over musician?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
because it doesn't mean I can't be the CEO and still play music.
Got you. Okay.
Fair.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
Why?
I mean, at the end of the day, I like to unwind to a beautiful sunset, and I mean, I think for me, the sunset is more beautiful than the sunrise,
Okay.
with all of the art and the creativity and all that you see at the sunrise. Sunset, sorry.
Solitude or social butterfly?
Social butterfly, of course.
Marvel or DC?
None.
You have to choose one.
Oh my God. Marvel or DC?
Yeah.
I don't know. DC.
Okay. I'm not even going to go further. 'Cause it's going to be like, what? Cocky or confident?
Confident.
Okay. You want to elaborate more?
No.
Why? Why not?
I think people mix up the both of them though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so can you explain?
Sometimes people think because you're confident you're being cocky. And I think it's something that we have a lot of misunderstandings, especially coming from the Caribbean. I mean, if you come off too confident, then they say enough and you're fully yourself. I mean, but for me, it's more of being confident.
Okay.
I mean, I'm nothing wrong with being cocky too. You know what I mean? But it's how you deal with it and how you manage it.
So you admit you can be cocky?
No,
Never.
never.
Ever.
Well, in my opinion, no.
Okay.
Somebody's
So
might
the
say
audience
different.
might say
different.
otherwise. Got
But
you.
for me, it's confident.
Okay. Real Madrid or Manchester United? And I believe you're a Barcelona fan, but I'm going to ask this question. Real Madrid or Manchester United?
None. You will have to shoot me tonight. You will have to shoot me tonight.
New York or Miami?
New York.
Which part of New York?
Brooklyn.
Why?
Because, I mean, it's a different vibe. I like the hustle. It's fast. And a lot of my Vinci people out here. A lot of Caribbean people out here too, you know what I mean?
Got it. Being in love or being loved?
Being in love.
Okay.
What kind of weird question is that?
Spiritual or religious?
Spiritual.
Okay. All right.
Religion is a business.
No comment. No comment. I'm going to go into the audience now.
Find you dig up them
Wait,
questions.
no man.
That's a coming
okay,
in, boy.
go ahead, Dazzle. Sorry, go ahead.
Corey or Stu?
It's true.
Long flight or long drive?
Long flight.
Okay, fair.
No, if I'm being driven, then yeah, I gotta take long drive. But if I'm the driver, no.
Yeah, boy, I understand why you like that CEO title, eh, boy.
But unfortunately, I'm never driven. Yeah.
Soon to come. One of my favorite questions to ask is if you had the ability to go 5 years into the future or 5 years into the past, which would you choose?
Boy. 5 years in the future.
Why the future?
Because I think, for me personally, I have a better understanding of where we're coming from. And I think I have a better understanding of where I want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, fair.
Good question, yeah, fair. Let me see what we have in the audience now, Chandy.
Hey. Nothing.
Bertha got her favorite.
Nothing.
All right, so Bertel is asking darky or reds.
What we talking about, rum?
Whatever you want it to be.
However you interpret
Whatever
it,
you
my
want it
brother.
to be.
Darky.
All right.
Whoever that is.
However you interpret it.
Exactly.
Roti or pillow?
Pillow.
Yeah. Seafood or wild meat?
Seafood.
River lime or beach lime?
River. Let me question some online.
Yeah.
Where's a good river down in Vinci to visit? Where's it one of your favorite rivers?
River 14. Or Wallaby.
You ain't driving me over there.
Why you gotta look at me like that? Was only one time we almost drove over a cliff. That was it. One
I
time.
don't even think Chandy know where that is.
One is
Yes,
enough.
I do. Thank you very much.
You sure?
Yes, I do.
All right.
What?
Back and neck or saltfish in the pot? What is that?
Saltfish. Like saltfish.
Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go with that. We're just
Back and
gonna go
neck.
with that. Yeah.
Back and neck.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Anything else?
No, that's it for Twitch. What about Julian's promo?
Nothing on Julian's promos.
That's good.
Everybody's quiet.
Okay.
This man feels he's at peace now. You survived this or that.
Of course.
I have no more questions for you, sir.
Okay.
Great.
No more questions for you. So we're gonna go into the music, and then when we come back, we will chat. All right.
All right.
You cool.
Hot and groovy in the soca party. She's hot and groovy. Baila with me, baby. Bambi dambe dai. Be dambe by them by. Bambi dambe dai. Be dambe by them by. Pretend in a soca party. When I see this Latin beauty. When I see she well shaped. With looks look hello my. I make a move and we started talking. She said I look like a distinguished yardie. Then she tell me boy. I'm feeling your body. Show me emotion that gets my attention. Then got me in a cozy corner and whisper softly to me, and move me in this soca body. She said to move me and move me, work up me body, move me till I feel the pressure, move me till I'm knocked all over.
so contagious. Them judges really have it hard. Them bands really come out to play now. I hearing a tenor beating, a guitar playing. I hearing a bassline pumping. It's the one. I hearing a tenor beating, a guitar playing. I hearing a bassline pumping. It's the one. I'm talking about cyanide. I'm talking about symphony. I'm talking about Stalin. Everybody play, 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 play. When you're hearing badang badang bang badang badang bang badang badang bang bang. Badang badang bang badang badang bang badang badang bang bang. Badang badang bang badang bang badang badang bang badang badang bang bang. Badang badang bang badang bang badang badang bang badang badang bang bang. From the Konya time into
Bring a cup of nice and some alcohol, it's right here we drinking. Every day we fetting, so do not bother we when we lighting. Plenty gal on the road and the bikinis and the masquerading. It's freedom, freedom, yeah. Yeah, miss me when you see we stand up in the party. Make some room and give me some space. Give me some space. In the world, bother we is we they try to end me. Want to know what freedom no stay. Close your eyes. Never win that trophy for good behavior. Fetting keep calling we name, we have to answer. Anyway, music play with is scandalous behavior in here. We don't care in here. Hold somebody a jam jam, hands up in the air, jam jam. Party anyway, jam jam. Let we jam, let we jam, let we jam jam. Hold somebody a jam jam, hands up in the air, jam jam. Party anyway, jam jam. Let we jam, let we jam, let we jam jam. We have a fetting disorder, endless bad behavior. Everything turned over, zero rest, no slumber. In the fete all the time disorder, endless bad behavior. Everything turned over, zero rest, no slumber. The party keep on in, we know. The fete them all in, we know. The road all in, we calling, we know. The party keep all in, we know. The fete them all in, we know. The road all in, we calling, we know. I remember the times when I was too shy to take a small jump and wave. Every time that I went to a party, they say I was the best behaved. Now I change up my ways anyway, panoply say I'm the first to rave. So leave me to party. Hold somebody a jam jam, hands up in the air, jam jam. Party anyway, jam jam. Let we jam, let we jam, let we jam jam. Hold somebody a jam jam, hands up in the air, jam jam. Party anyway, jam jam. Let we jam, let we jam, let we jam jam.
all the things they done say about me. With them there, all them things you done brave on me. With them there, don't bring your negative fate to me. But it's when right now you can't make it. We are for greatness. Jaja have me winning and winning and winning and winning. Man, check this scale. Man, that's for real. It's Jaja have me winning and winning and winning and winning. Man, check this scale. We blessed for real. Them talking, but I can't make out what it is they want to say. Information short bit. Wicked all people, man, you go can't live. Nice them thing does end shortly. All them things they done say about me. With them there, all them things you done break on me. With them there, don't bring your negative fate to me. But it's when right now you can't make it. We are for greatness. Jaja have me winning and winning and winning and winning. Man, check this scale. Man, that's for real. It's Jaja have me winning and winning and winning and winning. Man, check this scale. We blessed for real. Me cha, me cha, me cha.
What you reap is what you sow. Everybody know that go. If you know you want that go, you're running. From Monday to Friday, Jah know we live a stressful life. Stressful life. Yeah. Can't wait for the weekend to release some the stress of life. Stress of life. Yeah.
guys, if you're now tuning in, this is Chandy, sweet and fluffy like pink cotton candy. You are watching Watch Chubble on GMGT. We have the pleasure of speaking with Rodney Small in the building. We just heard a compilation of many of the songs he's performed on, some of which I was just like, wow, that was you? That was you? I know that was you. So we just concluded this or that, and now we're just going to get into the conversation if you are ready, sir.
I was ready.
Okay, so...
You're in real trouble, though.
How?
No problem.
That's not my intent here, sir. But I mean,
sure?
the show is called Watch Chubble.
So that is your intent.
Glad you know. So the question I have to ask is, why pan? Out of all the musical instruments, why pan?
I don't think I had a choice. And I mean, because at a very tender age of 7, I mean, I don't know how much you know, long ago there was these manual typewriters. And my sister used to do classes at the girls' high school. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as a little 7-year-old, I was waiting until she's finished. And then I started hearing this noise coming from my room. And then, you know, I went down there, started to play around with the stuff. And then at that time, the tutors, which was Francis Peslowell and JP, asked me if I wanted to learn. Mm-hmm. And of course, as a 7-year-old, we take nothing serious. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, from there, that's where it started. Because every other day, I would have to go to the girls' high school to wait on my sister. So I was never really exposed to anything else. And then, you know, I mean, when I started to get a little bit more sense, I mean, I started to think on my own, I realized how unique this instrument was. I mean, I always wanted to be different, right? I have no musicians in my family, unfortunately, right? So, I mean, starting to learn about the history of the instrument and what it meant to us as Caribbean people, becoming a teenager, I just say, you know what, I want to stick with it. Because I'm also a drummer too. I mean, a lot of these soca shows, you probably saw me on stage drumming for Soca Monac,
never in my
Black
life.
Rave, and I mean, all these soca shows. But yeah, the pan, outside of just being able to, the only thing I was exposed to when I learned about the significance and the history of it is something that I think I could relate to. So it's more of, there's a different type of connection to it than anything else. I mean.
So you founded RS Productions. What inspired you to create a platform blending music, technology, and youth empowerment?
Studying in Jamaica. Because what I realized is that being in Jamaica have like probably 1 million musicians. And it for persons who are less fortunate and those who are fortunate, and I mean, it was just a mixture of everything. And my experience of being in school in Jamaica really motivated me to come back to St. Vincent and open something of that sort. I mean, it's not where I want it to be yet, because the vision for it is to really mirror what is happening in Jamaica at Edna College. A home for the performing arts, a home for the creative arts. And I don't mean just a home as just do a thing. I mean a home where, you know what I mean, Dazzle could come and sleep and spend time and do a full accredited degree or whatever it is. I mean, so, and outside of that, it is a platform where it is an academy where even the grassroots person can afford. So coming to RS Production is like $120 a month, easy.
Oh, wow.
You understand? Because a lot of us grew up, can't afford music class. And that is one of the things that I really pay attention. So what I use is my upbringing and try to create this opportunity for those persons like myself who couldn't afford going to a music school or going to a music class. So that's really where it came from. And I mean, it continued to evolve. It reached a point where I don't even get to go to the academy.
Wow.
Right? Because, you know, I have tutors and I'm so busy, but the tutors would lock it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's really, that's where it comes from, my own experience from a tender age and then going to college. I mean, in Jamaica, and seeing what that did for a lot of, as we would call it, ghetto youths or the less fortunate. So, I mean, that's where it all came from. And mind you, I tried probably 11 times trying to go to the bank for a loan and kept getting denied because back home in St. Vincent, they don't see the creative or performing arts as something that is sustainable. So it was very hard, you know what I mean? And then I saw an opportunity to get a grant. Never mind, I get plenty licks for it. I mean, I get plenty political licks for it. I took the opportunity and I applied for the grant. And I'm happy, I mean, of course, for the acceptance from that committee to giving me the grant, because now I have a lot of persons under the brand. You know what I mean? Because I'm not just the academy in terms of the teaching aspect of it, but I have stage managers, I have production managers. I mean, I have event planners under it. I have performers, because the newly built Sanders, a lot of performers come under that. So we're going to rebrand it and now make it an agency, and the academy would come under the agency. So it's RS agency with all of these other elements under it. So that's what we're looking for. But yeah.
You touched something there that I wasn't even going to get into, but now that you mentioned it, I'm going to get into it.
Sorry, give me a second. Allergies kicking me. I want to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze on camera.
That's fine. The question I have to ask is this. In your current role, do you feel there is some glimmer of hope or change in regards to the arts in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, having more of a spotlight now, having more opportunities for it to be nurtured?
Quite naturally, anything that I do or involve in, I try to see how much I could push the art and try to see how I could put it on a platform and use the influence around me, right? So, I mean, being in this role would obviously help me and help others around me to put the performing arts and the creative arts on a totally different level. I mean, because even from this standpoint, it's more carnival driven. But I think that there is more behind the creative and cultural industries. It's specifically carnival. There's more behind it. There's an entire history behind it before we come to carnival. So and it's really for me in my new role, outside of putting on the events for the festival, is really to now look at how we can help with the networking capacity of all our artists and stakeholders and components of Carnival, how we could look deeply at training, I mean, for a lot of these components and all these elements of Carnival. Because what, in my observation, what used to happen is that we do shows and then we wait until the other year to do shows. And there's a big disconnect between the end of Carnival to the next start of Carnival. So in this new role, I'm hoping that, not hoping, I am going to, because it's a part of the overall vision, that what we call off-season will be on-season, right? Because we need to make our artists, our DJs, all the players of Carnival more export-ready. Because what you see happening is that at the end of Carnival, you might have 2 or 3 artists moving. It has to come to a place where everybody have to move. And if I can use my influence, and if I could use the influence of being the CEO, and I mean doing network partnerships, that's why, again, I don't want us to talk too much about this here. That's why you see us coming to New York and then we're going to the UK and we're going here. Just to create these connections, not just for us only as a CDC, but for our artists. So I could say, all right, you know, this DJ Dazzle, you know what I mean, he's a good one. And we can vouch for that DJ because he's under our umbrella. So
don't make me blush.
Yeah. my overall vision, one of my overall vision or objective for the CDC is for us to see the CDC as an agent also, or an agency, right? So when persons from outside call and when we make these connections, we could also say, all right, we have this set of artists or set of DJs or who we can think. So, man, that's really, I mean, and coming from a practitioner, right, with some level of influence, I hope, yes, I have some level of influence for me to use that influence and that knowledge, right, and those capabilities and abilities to strengthen what we have from the CEO level.
So how do you balance the roles of father, artist, entrepreneur, and mentor?
It's very hard. Very, 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 very hard. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, I try.
Okay.
I mean, time management, I mean, it's not easy, especially when, for the father part of it, when I have 2 kids, 2 children. I mean, we've been to below, like, say, kids. That's so good. Right? I have 2 children, and one not living with me, and one is living in St. Vincent. So it's almost hard, you know, I mean, to make the time. But at the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? Because I have to provide for them also. You know what I mean? So if I don't go out and work, then they can't eat. And I don't want it to be a situation where their mothers are the only one providing. But outside that, I would tend to manage everything else. I mean, sometimes I to be very honest, I forget the me in all of this. Right? I mean, quite naturally, we all are industry players. We know how that go. I mean, so we tend to cater for everybody else and make sure everybody good. And then wait, what happened to me? What happened to you? You know what I mean? So it's something that I'm working on. Hopefully, it gets better over time.
All of us go through it, so don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest challenge facing young creatives in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Discipline. And I said to my students all the time, and even some of the young creatives who are around me, is talent without discipline is a waste. I mean, some of them, time is an issue. I mean, the time that they spend with their craft, not only time showing up, a lot of them don't spend time with their craft. One of the things that we have to be careful what we label success with. Because for some of them, one of the biggest thing is that from they own an iPhone, or they put on a pair of Jordan, or they drive in a vehicle, that's what they label as success. So that is my biggest challenge, letting them understand that there's more to the industry than just these things. 200 people start raving for them, they feel that, yeah, they reach, right? I mean, and nothing is wrong with them being confident, but then you cannot reach to a point where you're not teachable. Right? That is my biggest challenge. But for me, I embrace all of them. I mean, there's some people who think that some of them singing nonsense, producing nonsense, but for me, I embrace all of them because I don't suppress creativity.
No, okay.
Right? There's a level of uniqueness in all of us, but for me is discipline. I mean, again, I would repeat it for those who are listening because I know some of them listening to, you know, talent without discipline is a waste.
So to go into what you just spoke about, talent without discipline is a waste, yes. But I believe it also starts with the parenting. I think all of us in this room have experience of, boy, leave that alone. Yo, leave that alone. What are you doing with that? Go study for be a doctor, study for be a lawyer. I think the culture in Vincia, like you said earlier, doesn't see music or entertainment as an actual
Profession.
Yeah.
I think there's a turning point to it. That's all. No. But again, we are blaming people like me and you and Chandy, right? Just using examples because one of the things I always use is that what did Oprah got wealthy off of? Any one of you? Because you're doing it right now.
Talking.
Yeah,
Talking. And she's selling people's story.
Yeah.
We don't do it enough.
I agree.
Right?
100%.
So a lot of the parents that we are talking about, or a lot of the young people we are talking about, they don't know that. I mean, Daz is a millionaire as a DJ, and that's all he do. He's a DJ as a millionaire, and he has a business, and he turned it into a business, and he uses the same business principles like every other company. Right? We're not telling those stories enough, right? So then obviously there's nothing for them to measure it by.
True.
Right? I mean, I kind of went through some of it. But I was very stubborn and some people would say back home I was rude.
Yeah, boy.
So when mommy said, boy, go sleep in the panyard, them time I doing CXC. I don't know what you would call CXC in New York, but yeah, them time I doing exams.
I think CXC would be equivalent to Regents.
LSATs. Or not LSATs, SATs. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I mean, but my drive was to show everybody that I go make it. You understand?
And you did.
But no, not every young man or young woman
have that same
drive. So what I think we also need is people like us to mentor them. You mention it. Give them the success story. And the success story can be the BMW that you have outside.
Right.
That's not the success story. I mean, it is a part of it. But in terms of being sustainable is important. Because we have too many creatives who are what we would call paupers in not just in St. Vincent, but across the region.
Yeah.
When I say pauper, meaning they have nothing to show.
Right.
And we have to be very careful with that. And I mean, but I mean, the parenting thing is something that I'm seeing a turning point. Yeah, little by little, bit by bit. But I say we also have a part to play.
We do.
I mean, all of the artists who have made it or making it. I mean, we kind of too isolated. But then the flip side of that, when you talk about your success as an established artist or DJ or whatever it is, people then say too cocky. You're full of yourself.
But it goes back to what you said, is how you approach it, how you display it, how you present it. It goes a long way. If you're not a person that is open to have dialogue, you're going to come off cocky. You're going to come off like, I know everything under the sun, and very arrogant, and no one's going to want to listen to you.
But that's a whole different conversation. Arrogant coming in the mix is something totally different. Because every Jamaican young man or woman wants to be an artist. And when I say artist, I don't mean sing. I mean who wants to be a part of the art. Because you know why? They're seeing the success story.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but we in St. Vincent now, again, and for me as a creative, if I had really buy in or follow my society, I would also be placed in a box. That's just the harsh reality of Vinci. And I mean, people just bash me because of the way I dress. When I perform, we have to dress so far. We ain't on so far. That is the harsh reality. So sometimes if you're not strong enough mentally, you would say, all right, no boy, back down. Because I had a student one time, I was doing a motivational talk, and there was a young man, he came well dressed, right? And then when I turned back around, I looking for the young man. He had a nice tie, and I think I felt that. When I turned back around looking for this young man, I can't recognize the young man. And at the end of the talk, he walked up to me. I said, "Where you been?" He said he was right in the crowd. So I said, "But how come, what happened to your hat and your tie?" He said he took it off. So I said, "Why you took it off?" Because he looked different than everybody else. You understand the depths of that?
So you have to teach them.
So he'd prefer to fit in
With
instead of
else.
stand out because of what our society.
Yeah,
do.
that's why I said you have to teach them that it is important to stand out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
well,
the thing is, there's not enough, like Rodney said, there's
Correct.
not enough people that stand out and it's accepted.
correct.
This is where you have the influence and the mentors to come in and speak.
But they have to be willing also.
Well,
I mean, I had in my previous job, which is National Commission on Crime Prevention, I was a director there for a year. And then I had a program called Loud, where we take a lot of these influential people and go into the schools, and everybody would take a classroom. And it took me hell to get a lot of industry players to go in.
why?
You tell me.
I'm asking you.
We're too easy.
You know the
We're too
excuses, not
easy.
me.
We're too easy.
So how do you balance tradition and innovation in your work?
I think for me, tradition is the core. As I just said earlier, you have to know where you're coming from in order to know where you're going. So I think there must be a marriage because, I mean, there is the product. And I think for me, the technology is how I package it and how we distribute it. Right? That's how I see both of them and that's how I am using both of them. So, you know what I mean? I mean, for what we did recently, home, we keep going back in that capacity, but the traditional element of Vince Mas, we're able to package that and then put it out to the world, which is utilizing the technology. And then you could start looking at things as branding, marketing, utilizing the technology, because right now everything is technology.
Yeah.
So it's basically using the tradition as your core, as your core values and developing the product or making the product and then selling it by utilizing what we have now.
So tell us the day you were appointed cultural ambassador. How did you feel?
I don't know. I can't explain the feeling. I mean, I didn't know it was going to happen because in my mind, I remember growing up, you're always told that you're too young.
Boy, I hear that now.
I mean, you're too young. So when I hear it and I didn't hear it because my mom was looking at the parade, and I think I was tired because we did something the night before, and then she called her, Rodney, come here. At that time, I don't miss it, and then social media went crazy. The congratulations and all of that, you know what I mean? But the whole too young thing was always playing on me, right? But then when it actually soaked in, I spent a lot of time with myself and I'm basically saying to myself, what does this mean for me, Rodney, and what does it mean for the people I represent? And when I say the people I represent at that time, every pan player. You understand? Every pan player, every young pan player that is. And then obviously by extension, what does it mean for everybody else in the arts, right? And I think safely I could say that created a level of motivation and inspiration for other young persons in the creative and cultural industries. But I mean, again, it is something that I totally appreciate, something that I totally love, and it's something that I use to my advantage to inspire other people, other young men who are not as fortunate as other people, and to show them that it is really just a number to our name. I mean, it doesn't limit you. And I mean, I was grateful for it, not just from the authorities in terms of the government, but for the people. Because when I got it, I saw, well, obviously some people would not like it, some people would love it. But I saw persons started to talk about my body of work and what I've been doing. And, you know what I mean, it's an appointment that they like, and, you know what I mean? But for me right now, it's just a title to help me inspire other people.
That's a nice way of putting it. So tell us how you felt when you were appointed CEO of CDC.
Oh, Lord. Again, this one was a bit different. I mean, I felt good in the sense of I now have a level of freedom where I can do a lot more. Right? I mean, not that I don't like answering to anybody, but I just felt like this is where I needed to be. It felt like home because I spent a lot of time thinking about it before I applied. Because for persons who are listening and those who know, I spent over 11 years being a part of the CDC because I'm also the president of the PAN Association. I mean, I've 3 elections, no, 4 elections, 3 elections at 2 years, so that's 6, and then I was there before that as in production, all right. So I mean, it was really just a little scoot over in the chair. I'm always there, but for me, it felt good because I understand the organization and I know where I want it to go. Or in terms of a practitioner, I mean, being a practitioner and being a part of the whole carnival industry, I had things in mind that I would like to see. Not that some of these ideas that I took to the board or to the committee weren't materialized, but now being in the position where I have a little bit more freedom, where I could create and I mean, bring other people with me, right? Other creators with me who understand where we need to go, and seeing all of that unfold in a very limited time. Because for persons who don't know, I was appointed and approved March 17th.
I have that in the bio there.
Right, March 17th. And the launch of Carnival was May 11th. So we know the window that we're playing with there. I had to do some onboarding session.
May 10th,
right?
actually.
May 10th, sorry.
Yeah.
I had to do some onboarding session. I had to go and try and figure out a lot of different admin stuff in the organization. Because all I was a part of the CDC, I was not privy to everything.
Okay.
Right? So I really had a very short window to basically start and get things going. But the good thing about it, I mean, I rest on the shoulders of some really good experienced people and a wonderful staff. You know what I mean? And as I said, it became very easy because I'm also a practitioner. Right? So, I mean, it was a good feeling. I mean, the appointment before, the job that I had before, not a lot of persons had liked it because they don't see me in that industry. But this one, the love and support was really tremendous. It's still tremendous.
I say take your flowers.
Respect.
Because within that short span of time, from what I've seen, it's been nothing but outpouring support.
Respect, man.
So
Love.
take your flowers.
Blessings.
While you could smell them.
Blessings.
So I'm going to go back to something that we spoke about. What do you think is needed to further support the creative industries in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Outside of money, because with money, it's endless. More training opportunities, more networking. And I don't mean regional or international networking, because we're still not networking locally. I mean, we still have a lot of division, a lot of toxic situations among the industry. I think once we come together as an industry collectively, there's so much things that we could get done, and that's still a serious fight, right? And well, I mentioned training and the funding and the collective approach and the networking, and I just think that a lot of our, I don't want to say big artists, but you would have an idea. I think the mentorship program is important.
Very much so. I
mean, it's very, very, very important because I still feel like I am reliving where I'm coming from as somebody started at age 7. I really didn't have much people pushing me or mentoring me. Just these 2 men, Francis Pesloban and JP Pompey, right? Now, we have a full industry of persons who have done it already, who understand it, and they're not, and I'm being very honest. I mean, I really don't, everybody and I don't care. I'm not seeing a lot of the mentorship happening. I mean, I don't want to even start calling names because I'm seeing some persons who are doing it.
You want to text them to me and I call them?
But I think everybody need to do it. I mean, if you look at Jamaica, when Popcorn moving, he moving with an entourage.
Yeah.
When Cartel moving, he moving with an entourage. When Romain Virgo moving, he moving with an entourage. Right? I'm not saying that you have to move with an entourage, but I'm saying, I mean, we have to be able to bring people with us. We have to be able to bring people with us because... Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think that's a really good point, not just for Vincy alone, but for soca music in general.
Yeah, I mean...
Because when you look at it, Bounty Killer bring Cartel, Movado.
Correct.
Cartel bring Popcorn, Ja Vinci, Black Rhino, Lisa Hype. Movado bring...
Not for them. Chase Cross.
It just come down the line. I think that's a very important point. But Winston Soso bring
Rodney, and Chandy.
Yeah, right. And then who's
This
to
is the
say
name.
who we go and bring afterwards? I think that's a very great point. Yeah.
Yeah, quite naturally. And I mean, ultimately, I personally, and it's a conversation I've had with the Prime Minister, right? And I would have it with any Prime Minister, right? We need a home for the arts.
I agree.
We need a home for the arts, and there have been multiple suggestions that I've brought to the table. I mean, we have a lot of schools in St. Vincent, and nothing is wrong with turning 2 of these schools. One for sports, and one is for the arts.
I agree.
But you would still do your regular subjects, but you know everybody who is going to that school is an artist, is a creative, or everybody who's going to that school is a sportsman or a sportswoman.
I agree.
And I think that's, let me tell you something that bothers me, seeing that we were having this discussion. I think what annoys me is when you ask an artist for a bio, and that's something you can talk to them with your school, they don't have a bio. They'll put like a paragraph together and send it to you via WhatsApp. That's the bio. Some of them don't have bios. Some of them don't have just a simple headshot. You have somebody on the street. You ask for a picture. They're taking a picture on the street, sending it over, and it's like, I can't use this for what I need. I need a high resolution image. Just to have the basics together so that they can market themselves as an artist. I think that is very critical and important. And hopefully in your role, you'll be able to educate them on the importance of marketing, even if it's the basic necessities. You cannot rely on TikTok to make it as a breakthrough, because we had a couple of artists from St. Vincent that did utilize TikTok, but they're not making millions and they're still there. So
you see, and again, so before the last role, I was also the coordinator of creative and cultural industries in the Ministry of Culture. And we did multiple workshops. And you have 6 and 5 and 7 people turning up. We did a workshop and I saw Beckett came. So I'm saying if Beckett could come, and we have all these young artists who are not even in the room.
was it advertised properly?
Of course, very much so. Even direct invitation.
Okay.
You understand? But again, talent without
Did
discipline.
you make it sexy though? You got to make it sexy for people who want to go.
So
That's how you market.
What is sexy?
I don't know. Whatever is down there that makes it sexy and attractive. Did you have an influencer come in and say, yo, we got to do this?
So
da-da-da-da-da?
me taking up my phone and say, Chandy, Cotton Candy, whatever the name is, where I'm personally inviting you to a performance lab training. That's not sexy enough for you?
For some people, no. For some people, they feel, why are you inviting me, or why should I come out my house? Are you paying me?
Then we have a bigger problem, because a training opportunity that is free. You know, every training I went to in Jamaica outside of the school I had to pay for it, right?
Yes.
But Beckett came. Beckett came. He came to learn. But we have a lot of young artists who did not show up because it wasn't sexy.
So then that's something that you have to revisit. See, this is where you do your postmortem and you say, all right, why didn't you guys come out? Like, you have to really think as they would, not think as Rodney would, but think as these young ones would.
Yeah,
if you really want to work with them.
But
You
Chandy,
might not want to have the energy to work with them.
There's also the saying that you could bring a horse to the river, but you can't force him to drink.
I agree.
Correct.
I agree with
because
that.
we've done the training again, especially but specifically for Soca Monarch. So we call the training performance lab. All that you need to know: your lighting rate, your script.
Did people come out to that?
Yeah.
That was sexy.
No, it wasn't.
That was
sexy. We did nothing different. We did nothing different.
And they said, no, it's the ugliest thing I ever see.
No, you know why? Because it said Soca Monarch. That was it. I was coming in. All right, let's go.
It didn't say Soca Monarch. It just said performance lab. You understand? But outside of all of that, everybody wants to be an artist.
Yes.
No, my problem is we don't have managers. We don't have agents.
We have Tanti who plays manager.
Okay.
We have Man that plays manager, and that's the problem.
There you go.
That is a huge problem.
But one of the things that I've done so far is that I called in all the Calypsonians, and we're going to do the same for the Soca artists, and we did a photo shoot with them.
Okay.
We're not leaving it up to chance, because again,
just the basics. If you could just get the basics of a bio from everybody, that would be fantastic.
But whose role is that though, Chandy?
You tell me as a CEO.
That's not our. So no. So you're going CEO.
RS.
No, but that if you're an artist.
To be fair, he's a hard working man. There's a lot of time to have him.
I know, but if you're an artist, right, and you want to be an artist, and I mean you need to. These are things that
I hear you, right? But you have to also think about it from a young artist perspective who's not familiar with the industry. That's something that a lot of people don't understand, especially with soca. It's not even just in St. Vincent. It's soca in general. People come to the table of being an artist without the background knowledge of the importance of learning the business aspect.
But those are the
and
ones who
basic
come and
thing.
approach you. Those are the ones who would come and approach you. But the ones who you trying to get on your program, they're not young artists. They're not young artists.
Yeah.
A lot of the seasoned ones who making money and who saying them is big artists and who they're better than, who don't have these basic things. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
It's a level of
I'm
accountability.
sure to drop some names if that's the case, and I'll be like,
Text me at least, I can call him in, don't worry.
Like, but the reason for that is, I mean, proper management.
I agree with that.
Right
so
now,
I would
not
hope
every-
that you could. I think you should have a managerial course. Basics, just the basics, fundamentals of being a good manager, something, fundamentals of customer service. Like these are things to. I'm laughing at me. Just tailor the package and make it attractive. Just food for thought. Honestly speaking, it's food for thought.
Yeah, but as I said, right, after Carnival, what we used to call the off season,
Right.
that is going to be an on season for all these things. But now that we in Carnival, you don't even have a brand impact.
Yeah, I know.
But then this is what I'm struggling with, right? And you keep pushing me in this CEO capacity, right?
Sorry,
No problem.
We were supposed to go in the CEO capacity.
Well,
I can't
I'm
help
also
it.
a promoter, all right. I'm also from a promoter standpoint. This is what I have an issue with, right? Some of these artists don't have these things that we're talking about. They don't have a press kit. They don't have a brand impact. They don't have any of these things. But when you sit down and you negotiate, the prices is in the roof.
Which I never understood. Which drives me nuts.
So they know money, but they don't know the other things.
They don't know the basic
All right.
things. And that's the point that I'm making. I would like to see in your capacity, whether it be for RS, whether it be for CDC, you have a specific role. You're a cultural ambassador. I think it's critical. You take it up a notch. You take it up a notch.
We will take it up a notch.
You have influencers. You have a lot of supporters. I saw firsthand what was unfolding here in New York in a matter of seconds, right? Just two toots and you were on it immediately and we watched something beautiful unfold.
But you could jump into Chandy.
What role would I have, Mr. Rodney Small?
Help with the manager course.
Well, you tell me. You want me to start the curriculum or
No,
something?
like when you reach out to them and they say, "Oh, I don't have a bio." Bam, there you go. You
But
activate.
I've offered that.
Uh-huh.
I've offered that.
Well,
No
so we
one has
good.
taken me up on the offer.
Well, wow. So that's just made a very
Let me
important
tell you,
point. You
I've
could
offered
cry the
package
horse.
because we don't have the music. This year we offered a different package. We as in Julian's promos.
Right.
We offered the option of, we'll give you a free upload. If you want to blast, it's a particular price, and you'd have to inbox me for the pricing, right? I got maybe 10 to 15 artists that reached out. I advertised it. I did everything. I'm just at the point where I'm just like, you know what? If you want to utilize the service, you utilize it. If not, TikTok, Instagram, go for it. Go for it. I offered.
The point, I think all of us here at some point has promoted something. And
Yeah.
in the very
Yeah.
beginning, it's hard to convince somebody sometimes. You might get two people and you say, boy, all right, I'm starting somewhere. And then later down the line, you get 100. I mean, yes, it sucks that you're taking the time out of your day to offer these services to somebody that needs them, desperately needs them. But if they can't see a value in it, then
Correct.
That's it.
yeah.
My academy is open to everybody,
They got to pay. They ain't trying to hear that either.
And I have more
And
children.
I think it's a reason. Do you
More
have
children.
scholarships? Do you have scholarships?
Yeah, for my kids, for the grassroots kids, for the grassroots
So how
program.
many kids? How many people you have in your program?
Right now it's about 19.
Okay.
Because some
So
of
it's
them
a
went
small
off to college.
academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we started at 42. But then some persons went off to college,
Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
that's good.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah.
great.
Well,
That's great.
But what I'm saying is that you have industry players, right? Because I'm not the only one, There are a lot of other smaller music schools in St. Vincent.
Which I didn't know
And they would
about.
not even want to go do a simple vocal course, vocal training, right?
Mr. Small, I'll work with you. If you
But
tell
they
me
jump
what
on
to
the
do, I'll work
stage
with
and
you
they
on
start to sing out of key, and they want to blame the song engineer. Turn up my mic, ting, and
No
really.
comment.
You know what I
No
mean?
comment.
But yeah, from a CDC standpoint, seeing that you keep pushing me there, is that
Was I really?
in that off season we're gonna really turn
Fix
it
it up?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what counts.
Yeah.
One question I have to ask is, what project do you hold dear to you? Like your baby?
What project in terms of music?
Doesn't matter, anything.
RS Academy. RS Productions.
That's it.
Very, very there. Because everything else falls under it.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, I give you a part of this story when I tried 11 times and I was turned down by the bank.
You should do a movie.
A movie.
A movie about.
You should try again just to see what they will say this time.
They know him. They'll probably ask for his
the bank
autograph. Can I get your autograph?
I'm not a petty person, but something like that I would be petty about, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I could also understand them to an extent. I mean, because there's still other creatives who find it hard to get like any sort of support in terms of getting a loan or getting a grant.
Let me tell you something. Now that you mentioned that, I remember one Soca Monarch. I was there in the backstage area, and there were several artists that performed. There was one big performer that came on. It's not Fireman Hooper. One big performer performed at that time, and he had all the theatrics. And
Really, Chandy? If
Stop,
it's not
stop.
Fireman Hooper, what is it?
You might as well just call him
He
on
had
him.
all the theatrics, and I remember these young artists were just watching like, how do I compete with that? I don't have the money. He's gonna win. And I think that's something that you can work on. Maybe not the financial aspect. I think the financial aspect is very critical. But like to build that morale, to let artists know that just because this person may have a stack and may be able to do the theatrics, you as the performer can garner the crowd, can command the crowd to follow you.
And not just only that, because I mean, we have had this discussion multiple times. As I said, in that same training performance lab, when I mean, a lot of them start coming now, right? I personally and some other members in the industry have helped them put together a proposal to write for sponsorship, because what I've seen, I see a couple of letters that they would write to business houses for sponsorship, and if me as a business owner see that, I would throw it in the bin. Right, so we took the opportunity to show them how to put together a good proposal and write. So firstly, and I mean, I've seen big presentations get kicked down.
Wow.
Sure.
I've seen big presentations get kicked down. Magical, remember when he won? Mm-hmm. He didn't have them kind of things that
He
you
didn't
talk
have
about,
it, no.
and he won.
No.
He had a couple of he friend them with big gun in the crowd and
Yeah.
But that was the point that I was making. And I think we had JR last week, and he gave his synopsis as to how
And
you
he
can
kicked,
do
he
it.
kicked down people too.
Yeah, he did. He
I mean,
did.
but that is what we're talking about now. And you mentioned it earlier about cocky and confident. These artists need to build their self-esteem, and they have to be very confident. Fireman Hooper, right, does win Soca Monarch before he reached back, you know?
Yes.
I remember, right? I'll give you guys a story. I remember when I said to people that I'm the Michael Jackson of Steel Pan. Boy, them cost me. I get real word. Who you feel you be ting. But they didn't understand it was a state of mind. And the state of mind I'm talking about, if you make up your mind that you're going to go to Victoria Park and you're going to win, nothing stopping you, you know. Don't if you have the worst song in competition, but once you tell yourself that you're going to win, you understand, you're going to start kicking down things, and just your whole energy. Fireman Hooper, I remember a year when he won Raga Soca. I can't remember the song. Fireman Hooper, that Saturday was in Heritage Square, drinking beer and he doing anything. He went by lanes before lanes closed, and he bought 3 yards of white fabric, and he make the outfit and he come back and win Raga Soca. That ain't no joke thing. But you know what? You know what Fireman Hooper has? And he just hear he say it all the time. Meet me in the stadium. You know what I mean? He, as much as he don't know whether I going to win or not, he probably has some level of fear in him. He goes into the stadium. He goes into Victoria Park with a level of confidence.
That's
I give it that.
I remember the year when he did Homeless. That's why I don't know if you know that song. Boy, for me personally, it was one of the weakest Fireman song. Right? And out of the whole I said, nah boy, Fireman coming last in it. And when I see that man go on stage and he walked that song, he came fourth. Beat a lot of people. You understand? I say to people, it's I mean, outside of my capacity, it's hard beating somebody like that. You go into the competition with that mindset.
You know, that man have a level of confidence I've never seen before, you know. I watched that man get in a random person car and say, drop me over here, my car over here. And the person said, yeah, okay. and take off, you know.
But the thing is this, you know what I admire about him, but I also find very interesting. He is the winner of several Soca Monarch competitions, a couple of Road March. The sad fact remains is he hasn't really crossed over out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
But who said he wants to?
I told people that. I did tell people that. I don't think he wanted
because
to.
He doesn't want to.
I don't think he wanted to. I think at a point in time he did want to. I think so.
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't you want
he
to?
would be the best person. But why?
Why not?
Yeah, but why?
Why? You get to travel.
What if he's comfortable?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, he's the best person to answer that.
yeah.
But I hear people say it all the time. I mean, but why?
I asked
But
him when
he's
he
not
came
the
in.
only one though. There's some very talented artists that do not get out of St. Vincent.
But that's why I was talking about from our CDC standpoint now, where the networking capacity is important. Because I think that's what we're missing. I mean, being able to connect with agents, being able to connect with agency. Now you have to pay attention to it, right? Who's skinny management? Where they came from?
Isn't Barbados still?
Yeah. Problem.
Yeah.
Majority of our management
of
and
the
our
country.
big artists who are making it is outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that I'm happy with, right? Because I think that we need a solid agency, some solid managers,
Yes.
to push our artists out there.
And you should be having multiple managers, not just, you have to understand there's
Yeah.
a road manager, there's
Correct.
a stage manager, there's this.
But you also have to have agents.
Yeah, I agree.
Mean, these Jamaicans have agents all over the world. I mean, but yeah, you have to be hungry, Chandy, and I don't think a lot of our artists are hungry. They're not.
I think so. They just don't know how to eat.
You think they're hungry?
Which side to eat from.
You think they're hungry?
I think they're hungry.
Really?
I do.
Okay. The ones up here?
Not just the ones up here, the ones down there too.
I don't think they're hungry enough.
Say that. You don't think they're hungry enough.
And I don't think they're hungry.
What makes you say that?
Because I live amongst them, I see how they operate. A lot of them activate when carnival come around.
But that's the problem. That is the problem. The fact that everybody still feels soca should be seasonal. That's the problem.
No, but not just soca, you as an artist. Because I could take you as a soca artist in November, September, December and do an acoustic show. Taking
Agreed.
your soca music out of that life of carnival and bring it into a different atmosphere where some corporate people could enjoy it. Put it into their own world. But you're not seeing that.
I want to see Mason do an acoustic show.
Yeah, but Mason, if you're listening, you don't hear it. But that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
They have to be creative. You understand? You have to want it, you know? Look at Marshall.
That's
Marshall,
a
boy,
whole different animal.
The only thing Marshall probably left to do is what you call it? Open my funeral home. Marshall did everything in the industry. The other day I see Marshall had a show in Madison Square Garden. I think it was 4 nights or 3 nights. And every different night spoke to a different audience. So he had a night with just brass. He had an acoustic night. And then he had where he took a lot of his songs and make it very modern in terms of a lot of EDM. And so why we can't do it?
Well, that's why you're here for, Daddy.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
That's what you're going to be here. I think that should be your capacity, like thinking outside of the box on how to bring the rest of the guys on the journey.
I mean, we did a show called Weekoustic. I used to do it every Wednesday on VC3. I mean, and a lot of the soca artists obviously appreciated it. But then, of course, I mean, they start seeing dollar signs. And that's where it went wrong. You have a whole TV station for yourself. You need to know how you could capitalize on that. I mean, the TV station didn't really have money to do it. It was just an idea that I came up with because I love acoustic music. And listening to acoustic music, soca acoustic music, just do something to me, especially if it's good music. And I just feel like, I mean, every Wednesday we could, and I think COVID did it too. I mean, every Wednesday you could go and listen to some acoustic soca music and have a better appreciation for it. My mother ain't going to listen to that bam bam thing. But if you put it into a thing where, okay, that's what you're really saying. Because when you put your music in an acoustic setting, you get to hear everything. You get to feel everything. And you get to understand the storyline. I should have these soca songs you listen to, Chandy, during Carnival. You don't know nothing about the storyline until after Carnival when you actually start doing some active listening.
Actually, yes, you're correct.
Because there's passive listening and there's active listening.
Correct.
I mean, it has some soca song. Is after the fact I realized, boy, is it wrong? What I've
been saying this whole time. It's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
But-
It's absolutely true.
I mean,
So, realistically, we talked a lot about what needs to be done in the industry and what should be done in the industry and what's missing from the industry, how do you feel that the industry in St. Vincent has been receptive to what you've been putting out?
Very good. Very, very, very good. I mean, could get better. And I think I could also do a little bit more. I mean, and as Chandy said, I'm hoping that in this new capacity where I think I would have more resources. Because, I mean, the CDC is an organization.
Right.
I am an individual in terms of artists. But so far, I mean, it's been really good. Because even for the launch of Carnival, the Friday when we did the parade, I mean, we had 178 creatives on the road. I mean, before the year before that, we had probably about 20.
Yeah.
Right?
I know, I've seen it.
So what happened, right? The approach we took then, recently, was we brought everybody in and we created that emotional attachment. This is why we're doing this. This is how you become a part of it. This is your role in it. And then everybody grab it and run with it, right? So, I mean, that very first event or activity was everybody loved it. Everybody grabbed it. Not because of me, but because they understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you understand? And I think that's one thing that we are missing in the industry. If you don't understand something, Chandy, you're going to move away from it. So if I come in here and start talking Chinese and none of you know Chinese, you're not going to listen to me. You're going to start your own conversation because you can't relate to what I'm saying. You understand where I'm coming from? But in terms of me personally, my event, I do an event every year. And I mean, persons have been very receptive to it. It's been 14 years.
What's the name of the event?
Steel Expressions.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, and that's my baby too.
When is that?
December, the last Saturday in December.
Nice.
I mean, that in a sense where Dazzle is over 50 and 60 people want to sing on the show. You know what I mean? So, and not because of me, it's because of the atmosphere of the event. Yeah, I mean, the event is strictly live, and it's a production, it's a storyline. So, I mean, I think a lot of artists see the benefit in it. And it is a show that every single person come to. I don't mean numbers. I mean from a 1-year-old to a 74-year-old.
Nice.
Be there. And as an artist, you would want to obviously that diverse audience, right? But we have a lot more that we want to do. And there's a lot more that I personally would like to see. One is being certified. That's one of the things I want to see. And in this context, I don't mean a bachelor's degree. I mean, for you as Dazzle, if you're DJing for 15 years, that must count for something. You must be able to get some level of certification for that level of experience or years of service, right? Quite naturally, there's obviously some training that you would have to go through.
Of course.
But I would like to see, I mean, some level of certification, right, among our industry. And I think that will also help because we have things like CVQs and NQUs and stuff like that now. And we have this thing where now the CARICOM certificate. Even that, I would love every performer to get that. So it's very easy for you to move across your region and perform without any hassle and all of that. I mean, I know me and a couple of the DJs talking about it. I mean, that and one is to be export ready. That is something, as I see, that they're being very receptive of because a lot of artists didn't know that you could come to the CDSC and get an endorsement letter to come for your visa. A lot of artists didn't know that.
No.
From find out that, boys, everybody now coming for a letter. You understand where I'm coming from? So for me, another part of it is education. Education in the sense that there are a lot of artists who don't know that there are certain things that exist. Right, so when they know, they're more receptive of what is happening. But I think right now, where we stand, I think there's a level of comfort in terms of your question. There's a level of comfort because you hear a lot of them saying, yeah, boy, a man who understand the thing. I mean, that's what you're hearing. And again, I know we can't separate the capacity now. But even for me personally, that's any little opportunity I get to spread the knowledge, I do it. I mean, anybody could tell you that. I mean, even from simple thing as your attire. I mean, right now we have Sanders in St. Vincent and a lot of entertainers perform there every single night. And as I said, some of them come under Iris Productions, right? So, you know, every single day, there's some sort of engagement with me and them.
Nice.
I mean, where you wearing tonight? Let me see where you're wearing. Think that, you know, that kind of thing, because at the end of the day, even if we're from different entities or brands is one St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Of course.
Right? So, I mean, the reception is good, and I know it's going to get better because people like results.
Of course.
And one of the tagline for the academy is that we're results driven. Right? People like results, and that is one of the success for me. From me personally, a lot of persons see what I put out and they see the results from it. And they see the level of quality. Right? So over the years, people seeing that, and that's where the love and support come from. I mean, some people probably don't like Rodney, but you see when Rodney do something, that's what you hear. No, not that they like me, but
they like the work you do.
Yeah, they don't have to like me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's okay, and that's not only from me only too, because I was given the opportunity and the avenue to do these things, and if I didn't get the support from the public, then it would have been zero. When I did my first show, now this show that I tell you about, I got 18 people. 18 people. Now 4,500.
Wow.
You know? But again, we have to be careful what we label success with, because that didn't happen overnight.
That took time.
Yeah, it's 14 years now. And I think it's in my 9th year I start seeing some level of profit.
Wow. That took time.
Yeah.
You have any other questions? Because then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to let him flip.
No, let him flip it, man.
Okay.
For this one.
So this is what we say, flip the script, and you get to ask us a question.
Oh, okay.
He looks so nervous. He's like, flip.
Well, I had a whole conversation about you before I got here, though. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if you're a Vinci, straight Vinci, or you're American who have Vinci roots.
I have Vinci roots. My mother from Sign Hill.
Your mother from Sign Hill?
Yeah.
Roseau? Who's your family? Are you from Sign Hill?
You're free.
You're free? So you know Bondo, Stabby and them people?
That's the first name you go call, man.
Yeah, because that's my boy.
Yeah.
Okay, the free run Sign Hill, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Carlton and Carlisle, my uncle.
Yeah. Okay, nice. See, two Sign Hill, man, very talented, best village in the world, right? So yeah, we just had a conversation because the work that you did, it's not really so much of a question, but the work that you did on Sunday, I was just impressed by it.
Well, thank you.
Because I keep hearing about dazzle, rhythm, cash, right? But I never really connect the dots. Okay. And then we just had a long conversation about you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's all...
for bookings if you have anything.
Huh?
If you have anything.
As a dark man, but I will start to blush on this camera.
Yeah, nah. But I mean,
appreciate it.
And that's the thing, we have to appreciate the work that we do. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
and we had when I tell you it's a whole lot of us, because we're doing I don't want to say postmortem because that's for dead people.
Right.
We're doing an evaluation from Sunday, and I mean, your name came up with the work.
That's always a good feeling. Yeah, so I appreciate
Chandy,
that.
so I could ask you, is it this or that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
Vinci or American?
Vinci.
Okay. All right.
That was it? Please.
No, anyhow, never mind. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what would you guys like to see different for Vinci Mas, both of you?
I'll let Dazzle go first.
Can't copy, you know.
No. I would like to see, and I feel like it's going to happen based on what I've been seeing, more publication. It's like when Trinidad have carnival, you could just pick up your phone and you see what's going on and feel like you're there. For Vinci, it's like it's only pick and choose, what can be seen, when in reality, it's so much more excitement, there's so much more fun that can be, shown. So publication is something I want to see more of. And that's just me. But honestly, in the direction that it's going, I feel like that's going to come down the line.
Right.
For me, I think you guys are starting it already, and I mentioned this to a couple of people. I'd like to see more of a merge between carnival and tourism, marry it together and sell it as a package to people who are not familiar with what St. Vincent or where St. Vincent is. Some people still think it's part of Trinidad or Jamaica, sadly, but it's nice to put the two together and package it that way. I would like to see more of that. And if you're going to get an influencer, educated influencer, don't just pick up the person because they have 1 million viewers, 1 million followers. Let them know what our culture is, where they can go to get food. Let them speak about those things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right, noted.
Okay.
All noted. All noted.
But you're doing
Where
a
you from?
fantastic job.
Where you from?
I'm from New York.
In Vinci. Where your family from?
My father's from Vermont and my mother's from Westville.
All right, no.
What were you gonna say?
Tongue people the best.
Yeah.
Everybody have to come tongue.
No, baby.
Everybody have to come tongue.
Country are the best.
No, everybody have to come tongue. Everybody have a come
You
tongue.
have to eat the food from country, so hello.
Have you
No.
ever tried to have a conversation with a deep country person?
Don't go there.
Especially as a New Yorker.
Don't go there. I
mean,
speak to my family quite regularly. Thank you very
I think
much.
you're highlighting a very key point there, though, Chandy, in
Yes.
terms of the tourism. Because I don't know if you remember our very first video that we launched.
I love that video.
But we
yes.
got a lot of licks for it,
I know.
unfortunately.
I know.
People were saying, oh, that's not carnival. But the creative direction of it is that we're taking you to a destination and then we're giving you something which is
Like
carnival.
I would love to see that on Caribbean Airlines. That same video, right when I'm boarding or getting on my flight or on the plane, I want to see that video because it's like I'm going home. I want to see this.
All right.
So that's something to think about.
All right, Caribbean Airlines, you listening?
But like I said, Rodney, I am definitely, anybody who knows me knows I'm very passionate about St. Vincent. That is like my second home. That's where I find my most peace. And I love my culture. I love my people. Some of them may hate me, but I love them. But I say this to say that I am willing to put the extra mile in if necessary. If you're looking for people who are willing to work and do things, I'm definitely here. I've always put myself out there. That's why I stayed on with Julian's promos to make sure to get the music out there. And for people who've been there from trenches would know how hard I've put the effort in.
Yeah, we see it. We know it.
Yeah,
So you're moving back home?
If I have a man, a husband,
Yeah?
maybe, yeah.
But I think the first interview I hear
Shut up. We're not going there. We are not going there. We are not going there, sir.
Actually, that's
I just mind my business, huh?
you plead the fifth.
That is it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to move back to St. Vincent, but it's a lot of things. The infrastructure
Alright.
still have to fix up. The hospital have to fix up. If I stub my toe, my grandmother is the one who got me so scared. I had food poisoning down there. She said, "You're not going to no hospital." She made some concoction at home, rubbed me down.
We're fixing that.
Yeah, I
We're
want
fixing
that fixed.
But
it has to be fixed.
but the reason why I asked is to get to the point. I mean, I don't. The world is a small place now, so you can steer from right here because you've been connecting from right here.
Yeah.
And I mean, happy to have you on board for free because you didn't talk about.
I like how he said for free. We gonna talk when the cameras are off.
No, we could talk now.
Where my payment is gonna be.
Yeah, but I think right now we're kind of heading in the right direction.
I believe so.
I feel so.
And
Yes.
one of the success for that is that we have included a lot of people. There are a lot of persons who now feel like
You
there's a
have
sense
to.
of
Like
belonging.
it's
Yeah.
attainable. It feels attainable now.
Correct.
It feels
Correct.
attainable.
Because I mean, we just put out the Soca Monarch semifinals and people gone crazy.
I'm so mad. I am so mad about that.
Run on the road.
I am so mad.
We have flights.
You paying for my ticket? Thank you.
Well, you could prefer to out your salary. Or we could do a trade off. Yeah, so I mean, the industry home, I think it would get better.
I do.
I mean, I feel it would get better. It's just that we just need more love.
Well, it starts at home.
We need more love.
Everybody at home has to love who represents St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not when they blow up outside of St. Vincent. Love them when they're there.
you just hit them hard
Appreciate
shots,
them
boy.
there. But it's the
Hit them hard
truth.
shots, boy.
I'm talking the truth. Am I lying?
I
I'm
hope
telling
when
the
they
truth.
come on your program, you hit them like that.
Don't I?
You must ask them, you know.
I do. I do. I figure this is the perfect opportunity now because I know you have a lot of people who are listening to you via Facebook or whatever the case may be. And I'm quite sure they're listening to my words and they're listening to your words. And whether they choose to marry those words and make something
Out of it.
magical is up to them. But the conversation has to be had. And we can speak about it all day. But if the key players involved don't want to be a part of it, we'll be in circles.
Correct.
So
We do have one question in the chat. Or two questions, actually.
Oh my Lord.
Bertella asks, is there any obstacle that you've overcome that you're proud of?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that one kind of personal. But yeah, I mean, my father not being around. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's something that I said to my students and even just young people who are people in general, because I do a lot of motivational talks, right? And I would say to people, you don't need anything external to motivate you. And my motivation was my mother being a single parent.
That's hard.
Yeah, but
That's
I don't hate my father though. I just learned that I don't want to make the same mistake
That he did.
that he made.
He did.
That's
So that was
important.
my only obstacle because I was upset. I was angry. I was like, I mean, even with my mother, I was upset. Why he was never wrong? I mean, was it your fault? You know what I mean? That type of thing. I was bitter. I mean, and then I just decided, you know what? Look at it differently. I don't hate him. I'm going to try hard not to make that. That's why I mentioned earlier the time thing, spending time with my kids and all of that, and the fact that my son don't live in St. Vincent with me. I mean, so yeah, that was my only obstacle. Everything as I kick them down and move. Because at the end of the day, it was a proof thing to her, Dazzle. Because remember I said earlier, everybody around me thought I was going to fail. I was going to become nothing good. Because when they asked me, remember long ago, when we were growing up, they would ask you what you want to be. I tell them I wanted to be a conductor.
So what happened?
Everybody laugh after me. You know what it meant to be a conductor back then?
I know.
And then when they asked me why, I said, yeah, boss man. Yeah, like literally. And then my mother beat me already, because I skipped school and I was just riding around in the bus.
Wow.
Riding around in the bus. And then when my sister asked me why I wanted to be a conductor, I told her I wanted to learn how to count money.
Interesting. Interesting.
Fair.
Yeah, you understand?
Perspectives.
Yeah, so I mean, I always had something to prove because I mean everybody was down my throat. Oh, you're going to fail. You're not going to this. Oh, music.
Do you
is
still
this,
think they're down your throat?
you mad? Well, if they want to be, they can be. But right now, as I said, as the quote said, I'm just living. I'm just living in that dream, and for me, I think sometimes I feel like my life is not mine. Very deep too. Again.
No, I know.
I mean, because I know it's have a lot of young people, even adults who are watching, who would not say. And I just feel like everything I do should be a motivation to everybody else who's watching.
So, in regards to past mistakes, do you think those mistakes, whether it be personal or business-wise, do you think they made you a stronger person and have you learned from those mistakes?
Of course, they build character. I don't see them as mistake. One thing my mother told me, don't regret anything that I've done. Unfortunately, but just don't regret them because they help to build character. You understand? Because if you never go and put your hand in the fire, no fire does burn you, You would not know. I see my brethren already eat pork as a 7-day Adventist and you never know it was pork. You know why? Because you don't know what it tastes like. So you could be eating a bowl of food but having pork as a 7-day Adventist and you don't know it's pork. So I feel like you just have to experience certain things and then, you just learn from it and move on. But for me, I mean, obstacles is not a thing that, I mean, I just have my little moments too. I just have my little moments when you just sit in your own little corner and you just meditate or you just feel some type of way. Plenty of time I feel like giving up. And my giving up is not because of my abilities or capabilities, it's just the people.
Turn off.
I mean, just the people around us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But then it's very hard because people see creatives as walls, We're robots. We don't have any emotions, we don't have no feelings. So do we anything?
No, I think creatives are very emotional people.
Of quite naturally. I mean, we're creative. But what I'm saying is that a man will go on Facebook and talk a lot of shit about Dazzle, right? And everybody expect Dazzle to not respond. Hey, don't worry them. You have to ignore people. But Dazzle is a human being.
Just the same way.
You understand? But at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes it's hard because you end up being somebody that you really don't want to be.
Correct.
Because there's a part of me that I'm real numb. You have to.
That is such a sad thing.
But you have to.
But it's
You
the truth.
have to. I see artists and creatives who find other coping mechanism to deal with that. That's why we have a lot of alcoholics who
Yes.
are artists and creatives.
Yes.
Because that's how they deal with it. For me, I mean, you probably might be able to ignore it. I mean, in some cases, you might be able to vent, pick up your phone and call Chandy and just start to cuss. Chandy don't know nothing you're talking about. But that's just the reality. And we have to stop it though. Because I remember it, right? And I'm going to be very open. I had a student who said to me, so if that's all you have to be going through, I don't want to be successful. Because as a young man watching people bashing you on Facebook, bashing you on radio, saying this about, you know what the thing they say about me?
Yes, I know.
I push drugs. I just launder money. I gay. I mean, students seeing that who wants to be that, who look up to Dazzle as somebody who's been successful, but Dazzle have to go through all of that.
So how do you feel when you hear those kind of things?
How I feel? I don't
Yeah.
feel no. I just told you. There's a
So you
side of
just
me have to be
numb
numb.
that.
Of
You
course.
just numb it now.
If I don't numb it and I respond, people like you go and message me or Dazzle and say, boy, Rodney, boy, you're supposed to know better. Ignore people. So then what happened? It complicates things.
Got you.
You understand? That's why they say creatives and artists not supposed to be on social media. You have a social media manager for that. They would do all the damage control. They would do all of that. That's why they isolate us from seeing those things.
Because it's a lot. It takes a toll.
Takes a lot.
Especially if you know you're passionate about what you do and you want to channel that energy of positivity and people just...
I could tell you about that. I could tell anybody about that.
It takes
I
growth.
could tell anybody about that. Trust me.
takes growth.
And if I wasn't strong and I never had a praying mother, I didn't believe in my faith, I would have done gone from this.
But I have to ask this question. I think I asked this question to Swappy in the past. This is a artist I did. Your past, certain things you've done in the past, do you think left a traumatic experience on others so they look at you in a particular way
I
and
don't
they
know.
can't look past that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nobody have never really came to me and say, well, this is the case. But me personally, I don't think there's probably women. Probably women because, I mean, growing up, you're young, you're popular. I mean, a lot of females, I mean, everybody go through their own little phase. And I had plenty of girls.
You still do, I'm sure of it. CEO, sir.
You're assuming.
I'm assuming.
I have lawyers on speed dial. And I mean, but
That's right. Make sure you can put your key in the door when you go home safely.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, for me, I try to do everything legal.
As you should.
I mean, at the end of the day, I may have offended a couple of people before.
Have you apologized, like made up or no?
Yeah, some I did, some I do. I don't think I need to. I mean, it's a part of humanity, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to always agree.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
but to say I spitefully set out to hurt anybody or to bad mind anybody, that has never been in my nature. Never been in my... Because I always walk with this and I said it. Somebody took the time to nurture me. I've been hurt a lot in the past. Even now. There are people who I put on and then they get through and then, who the hell is Rodney? You understand? It's our people who I still showing love that they don't even know I know what they're doing. And I don't care to let them know. Because at the end of the day, I know me and I know what I'm about. There's some things I might cuss about and let you know that, yeah, Chandy, I know. And there's some I just leave you. I mean, that's a silent killer. But yeah, I mean, the obstacles right now, I don't think it's anything that could distract me right now.
That's the mindset.
Yeah, and
That's the golden mindset.
And that didn't come overnight, bro. That was years. At that time I pick up my phone and call Bridget and cry.
I was gonna say, have you had a crying spell?
Enough.
Okay.
All on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, all on stage. All on stage. I mean, this is a dog-eat-dog industry. It is a dog-eat-dog. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a dog-eat-dog industry. And if you're not solid, you're going to get pushed down.
Get pushed down, yeah.
There was a comment in Julian's promos that came up.
I think that's had another question there.
Go ahead.
Actually, yeah, there is one more question in Twitch. BDJ Pete asks, is there a healthy development relationship between the new and established artists, like guidance? I think we touched base on it before, but
No,
that's
it's
the question
not.
he asks, yeah.
No, there's none. I'm being very, very honest. There's none. Every year you hear it. Artists, the young artists cussing the old artists, them.
Yep.
And I don't think, I mean, you see me right now, with this 27 years that I'm in this creative industry, I don't think there's any young artist who could get me to go down to that level. To argue with them or to cuss with them or to malice them. The only way I'm going to malice a young artist is if they're outright disrespectful. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think I know how to deal with creatives. I know how they think. I know how they operate. Creatives are divas, you know. We are divas.
At least you own it.
No, we are divas. I mean, everybody in the world. I mean, Dazzle might be a bit more tame than mine. But at the end of the day, what is important is how we deal with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't feel like, and I'm using an example here, a total example. I just don't feel like Skinny should be cussing back with a OG Park. Or you know what I mean? I just can't understand that. For me, no pan play in St. Vincent could get me argue with them. I mean, all my
Sometimes
years.
it builds that hype, though.
Huh?
Sometimes it builds a hype.
No, but we're not mature for that hype in St. Vincent.
Correct.
I mean, there's no panis that in St. Vincent that I've never even said that I'm better than anybody. Because you know what I see? I see contribution over competition. And once we go with that mindset, because I still feel like you have a part to play. Whether or not 10,000 people like you and not 100 people like me, I have a contribution and you have a contribution. And that's how I see it. You understand? It ain't have no panis. As much as I know a lot of people like or love Rodney, I still feel like there are other panis in Simmons who are better than Rodney. There are people who would think that. There are people who don't care what you do, they love the Rodney. And there are people who don't care what they do, they love the Jomo or they love the Saeed. You understand where I'm coming from? At the end of the day, for me, what I'm proud about is that we all are contributing.
Contributing to the same, yeah.
So Kendall Wiseman said the story from you Rodney connects, and it connects hard, and you paid your dues, bro.
Who's that?
Kendall Wiseman.
Oh, Weezy. Yeah, again, Weezy's a veteran.
He is.
He's a veteran. In no way I would expect Weezy to go be arguing with some of these young artists, even if they're arguing with him. At the end of the day, I mean, respect is respect. I can't. That's one of the things that I can't agree with. Every year you hear it. Every year you hear it, and it don't make sense.
That's true.
And I mean, again, we could use the Jamaican culture. You would never hear one of them young artists trying to muscle up with Bounty Killer. And vice versa. Well,
I don't think it on a real setting.
Well, I mean, recently you're seeing it.
Excitement.
You know why you're seeing it? Because the industry started doing good.
At the same time, it's their culture, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's their culture to clash. That's why
a
I say
lifestyle.
Not on a real level like they see them.
The lifestyle, they stage it.
Yeah, on a stage. Right.
I mean, Mavada and Cartel got rich off of it.
Yeah.
Bounty and
Beanie got right now. Yeah. Bounty and Beanie they're catching flights together.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it.
Yeah.
And that is something that we need to pay very close attention to. So when we out there taking it personal and want to kill one another and think, them men using it to their advantage.
Of course.
I mean, but I don't really, you see that? That's a no-no for me. Big time. That young artist and old artist and, I mean, I because, again, going back to the launch of Carnival, even here in New York, we were able to create a marriage of where we're coming from and where we are now. I mean, a lot of people just bash Datsy and Mason music, but I love it. For one main reason. It's unique. It's their style. Each of us, you just cook your pillow different than how I just cook my pillow now.
Yeah, you tell me how it goes.
But at the end of the day, is what?
It's food. It's the
pillow.
same food, yeah.
It's food. It's going to do the same thing.
Same nourishment.
Coming out the same way. Going in and coming out the same way.
Correct.
It may not come out the same way.
But I mean, I'm just praying and I'm hopeful that, I mean, because soca music is a happy place.
It is. It's a happy music.
As Dazza said, dancehall is a different culture.
It is.
Hip hop is a different culture.
Yeah.
You can't come sing hip hop for me in a Vinci twang.
No.
You mad? I can't take you serious. You gotta be giving me that Yankee shit.
I mean, Lola Doll does it for Guyana, and it sounds pretty cool.
Guyana is a different place entirely. Yeah?
There's different genres of music that come. There's a lifestyle to it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You understand? Soca music is a happy place. I don't see how we are in clash and war in soca. I can't understand that. You could picture two men clashing in soca. How?
I've seen it though.
My room stronger than yours.
Where? Where?
Here in New York.
How? The only place I see taking that is in soca manak when a man have a voice for this another man.
Yeah.
That
tune for tune, track for track, talk for talk.
But I mean, really and truly, if you break down the soca, what you gonna say? My rum stronger than yours. My bacon hotter than yours.
Yeah. But that's the point. My girl could wine better than your girl.
Yeah, it's happy music, yeah.
Okay, so I have no more questions. You have questions?
No.
I'm going to go into the relationship topic real quick, and then we're going to ease on out.
All right. This is the longest that we've ever went over time.
I think so, yeah.
You still have more to talk, boy?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
So here's the final question. This is the relationship topic that we hardly ever get to, right? Is it normal to keep secrets while dating?
Jesus Christ.
All right. So then you have to clarify that because we in the Caribbean we have a different definition for dating.
So in
than
America,
Americans. Mhm.
okay, in America, dating means you're seeing other people until you decide, all right, I'm going to exclusively be with this person.
Okay.
Right?
Just clear up for the listeners
Yeah, I'm
from the
clearing it
Caribbean.
up for the listeners. Yeah. So dating in America means we're seeing other people.
And there's nothing intimate.
There can be intimate, like maybe you're dating two different people and you've decided, yo, all right.
I'm
I've
talking
tried
about
that.
during the dating process.
Sometimes it is a part of the date. Like that's
Okay.
like the final stages of the dating process.
Okay.
You
All right.
decided, but you make it clear that you're dating other people, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
Okay. So the question is it normal to keep secrets while dating?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're not at that level yet where I could just open up to you entirely.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know you're gonna still be around? Remember you said we're dating, we're not there yet.
Yeah, but if
so
you-
what if I in week 4 or week 5 I decide nah boy, I really don't want to continue this, and you gone with all my secrets?
I wouldn't say give all the secrets, but it's a part of getting to know the person. Isn't it just bridging that gap and getting to understand one another?
I just feel like there's certain things that you know what I mean you don't just expose any and everybody to.
I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. So
But there's certain things that you should share. Like if you know it's going to get to a certain level, you open up.
But how do you know that?
You,
Or when would you
have
know
it.
that?
You're creative, so you know.
Chandy, it's a time when I feel so now. That's it. And I feel like, boy, yeah, I really love this girl. And then, as you know, say you'll flip on me.
Flipping is a part of life.
Exactly. So exactly. I mean, I think we should just be careful with how much we give out, especially with if it's not something that is not solid yet. I'm sure that you're just not going to dish out everything right away. I mean, there's some very rare situations where, you know, you get comfortable immediately because energies do connect.
Yes,
You
I
know what
agree with
mean?
that. But sometimes when you connect with that energy and you do end up sharing information, then you realize sometimes they switch up when you share that information with them.
That's a whole different thing by itself.
But it happens.
But and again, and that's
It
part
does
of being
happen.
human. I mean, but not everybody. I mean, not everybody would do the same. There must be a reason why they switch up.
I guess so.
Every secret is like a skeleton. Skeletons bring investigations and they bring judgment.
That's a valid point.
So
That's a valid point.
at a point, you might want to lock that closet door if you're not ready for that investigation or that judgment.
But that's why I said if you reach a certain level, then you should be able to open
But
up.
what's that certain level?
You will know.
Really?
You
But I
will
just
know.
tell you, I thought that boy, I love this girl, me and this girl, and then pop.
It could. Let me tell you something. When you're dating somebody, the dating process. This is American dating, not Caribbean dating. When you're doing the dating process, you're vetting through. You're seeing who is the proper potential. From there, maybe you're dating two to three people. Right? You're narrowing it down, and you realize, yo, there's one person I'm actually connecting with and vibing with. I think at that point in time, you start to divulge a little bit more about yourself. True or false?
But it's a process.
It is a process.
Yeah.
That's the point that I'm making.
So there's some things that would be a secret until then.
At what point do you open up then? Like sometimes you mentioned it before. Sometimes you have that connection. Like
And right
immediately
away.
you just
Yeah.
start offloading. Like, oh, I feel safe here.
I mean, in these dating situations, I don't think being calculated is something that you'd want to bring. Right? For me, the New York type of dating, when I used to do that, and I mean, I used to just go based off of energy. And then if I feel like tell you whatever, I tell you whatever. If I don't feel like, I don't feel like. I don't feel like what you're trying to ask me or what you're trying to get done is something that I would do. So at week 4, I might feel this way, so I should start telling she about my
No, I'm not saying
divorce.
calculate it like that. It sometimes.
But you're asking me at what point in
At
time
what
would I?
you-
So I can't.
So I wouldn't even say day 4, day 5. Sometimes it could be 6 months and it could be 6 weeks
I
in.
don't know.
Could be 10 years
I
in.
don't know.
Depends.
I don't know because I have situations where I have a brethren right now, like he live in Jamaica, and boy, I wonder if I should say this. We went to a strip club, and that same night he brought on one of the strippers, and they're now married for 9 years.
Sometimes you connect with people in the least.
But as the
places
point I'm
you
making, so I
expect it.
don't know if tomorrow, I don't know if 6 months, but I just feel like, especially, all right, let me be real with you. From where I sit in terms of as a public figure, I mean, we are so guarded, extremely guarded. You are guarded too. Dazzle is guarded too. If he doesn't just go there and just, when he playing every girl who run up to him, the girls them just come on.
I do not pick up every girl, Chandy. Don't do that, man.
but the point I'm making, I mean, from me personally, I mean, without generalizing your question, I'm pretty much guarded. I have to be. Because Dazzle said it, I don't know. You see that thing, that word, that J word, judgment? And then as public figures, the information that you give to an individual could also be ammunitions for them.
Bingo.
That means you didn't develop that trust. I think once you meet somebody and you establish that trust, let me tell you something, regardless of
Have
what.
you met woman?
Hold on.
Oi, 2 against 1, Chandy. Back down.
Hold on. No.
I think we're running out of time, Chandy. I think we're running out of time.
I think what the point that I'm making is this: the connection makes a difference.
Correct.
Getting to know the person. I think after a certain point in time, the secrets you have to unguard yourself.
Would you call
It's
them
scary.
secrets though? Like I wouldn't call them secrets. I just think that there's certain things that would take time.
Take time to express.
Yeah, I mean, secret is something totally different. I mean, secret is like
Some
something you're
scandals.
hiding. You know what I mean? But for me, I would forever be guarded. I mean, there's certain things that I would open up with. But then I ultimately, and that is a messed up thing for us who live in this industry. It's really hard. As I said to you, it's very, very hard living in this industry. Because somebody might be genuine, but because of past experience and you feel like it's me against the wall, you just end up pushing them away. Because you feel like if they're coming at you, or they're coming to take something from you, or they're coming to do something to you.
Ulterior motive.
Correct. And the person might be a sweetheart or not. Might be a wife and all. And then you just, so I don't think that question is for me. I mean, after all, I don't know if I'm...
It's an open question.
I don't know if
it's
I'm
for
in
everybody in the room.
that dating thing. I don't know about that dating
You don't
thing.
date. You said you're married.
Yeah, right now I'm married right now.
You're married. So.
Yeah, I'm a married man.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the wife.
Are you married?
Are you married?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, married to money.
Okay. I'm married to fantasies.
You see, you so much mix up it. She's really mixed up, boy. But yeah, I mean, and being with an industry player is hard too.
I was gonna say, do you prefer dating somebody within the industry, or it's like whatever catches your eye?
No, it's not whatever catch my eyes. The industry, no. I mean, specifically music or just the
In
creative?
general, creative in general.
Yeah. I would date creatives. I've dated creatives.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. But not directly music though. Why are you watching Dazzle like that?
Looking at your facial expression. What do you have to say, Dazzle?
I think they have some level of understanding.
I think dating somebody, because I've asked this question before, that's why I'm answering. I think dating somebody within the industry is a bit easier because both of you have a level of understanding of what's going on in the scene. You don't have to explain 25,000 different things. Like if you're dating an artist and the artist is in the studio from 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning, you already know they're recording. You understand. You know how it goes.
But it could be a flip side to that because females could be very selfish. So even if you are in the industry, I mean, I'm in the industry, and I have a busier schedule than you, you expect me to be free when you are free. I've experienced that before.
Listen, the saying goes, if a man really wants to spend time with you, he will make time.
Oh, that is the number one excuse.
That is the truth.
So cliche.
That is the truth.
So cliche.
And she could always be there to support you.
No.
Like if you're are outside
Alright.
and you need assistance, let's say you
me
need
a
calendar support.
Get out
She could
of
be there
here.
to help you with that.
All right.
Get out of here, man.
Of course. I'm going to give you an example, right? I was dating a creative a long time ago. I think I just finished high school. And I was drumming for a band called HS Factor. I don't know if you know
It's
the
one of
band.
my bands.
Right?
Go ahead.
And, you know, we obviously rehearsals very long. And one bag of accusation. Oh, it's not a practice, woman thing. I said, all right, no problem, sweetheart. Let me go rehearsal. we go rehearsal, dazzle, and we say, there's a couch. She's sitting on the couch, and 10 o'clock pass. She up wide awake. 10:30 pass. You see, she eats down in the couch. By 11 o'clock, she's sleeping. So I tell him, man, look, go again. You understand? You know, the next time I say, well, we are rehearsal and let go on. You know what she said?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did that before.
Okay.
That happened to me before. That's why I said I could relate. I understand.
So you understand where I'm coming from?
I understand.
But sometimes the
goes.
opposite is also better too. I've heard a person say that too.
What?
I mean, somebody who's not in the industry.
Sometimes that works for you. Sometimes it works against you because you have the 21 questions, which I cannot take.
I think it depends on the person. Because I think we've all done both. I've had people who are not in the industry that is, I mean, they may ask questions, but they're far more understanding than some of the people that are in the industry.
But then it also depends on your partner. If you know your partner as a whole, it's a whole different story.
Is
a
what?
whole. If you know your partner as a whole,
damn it.
What is that?
if you know your partner as a whole,
What
it's
is
a
that?
different story.
What is that?
A womanizer. Yeah.
So why you attacking men?
I'm not
Why you
attacking
didn't say,
men.
why you
Sometimes.
say,
Okay, sometimes women could be that way too.
Oh.
Sometimes women could be that way. I'm not gonna lie.
Some woman is manizer.
man,
But the point that I'm making is, if you know your partner steps out a lot, then that insecurity.
but
will
if you know
step
your
in.
partner steps out a lot, how is that person still your partner?
That's a
Bingo.
good point.
Bingo.
That's a very good point.
I try to understand that logic.
Maybe you have that co-parenting thing going on. Who knows?
But
Woman,
that's not your.
Or sharing a house. Who knows?
woman 0, logic 1.
Hey, Chandy, use trouble.
I know. That's
It's
why the
very
show's
trouble.
called Watch Trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble, but
Anybody in your audience have anything to say? Or they all went to bed by now?
now people locked on.
So what they saying?
You have
Before
me-
we close off,
Plenty things.
what they saying? Let me hear.
Plenty things.
Let me hear.
You and this and that.
So what are the this or that questions? Because it seems like it's burning you. So let's hear what they have to say.
No.
Why?
No.
You're scared to ask?
Me?
Yeah.
No, then they would ask.
Ask.
No.
Don't be chicken. All right, guys. So seeing that you're not going to ask the questions, we're just going to end it. Can you give your social media handles, please?
Of course, Rodney Small 1 on Instagram, and Rodney Small Steel Pan Boss on Facebook,
I was going to say, I don't
and
know.
Rodney Small on TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, social media is a hell of a thing, but yeah.
Anybody you want to shout out before we leave?
Everybody. I want to shout out everybody. Everybody. I mean, I can't start singling out people and that's problems.
Yo, was it your mom's birthday the other day, or that was just a thank you post you pretty much did? Because people got confused
that is
as
the
hell.
weirdest thing.
And I was just like,
And
what?
You know why though? You know why? You
Why?
know why? It means that, and that's very troubling. It
Mm-hmm.
means that we are saying that people only post their parents or their loved ones when it's an occasion.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like I was having a moment and I need to just appreciate my mom publicly.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of happy birthday I see on that post. I mean, but I want to shout out everybody because
Mm-hmm.
I can't single out anybody because I have a lot of love and support.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but mainly I just want to say a major thank you to all those persons who turned out on Sunday here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of the entire cast. I mean, it was really a nice vibe. It was really a good vibe. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Well, I know what to expect from our side, but I didn't know what to expect because the diaspora is so divided too. Here in New York, you guys are extremely divided.
Yeah.
No, I think we're talking the things. I mean, it's
the truth. It's the
really
absolute truth.
And one of my hope is, that's why we did this, is really to mend
unify?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
to mend that.
You have to do it a lot more often
It's
than
going to
that
be an
one
uphill
time.
climb.
Yeah.
It's going to be an uphill climb.
Yeah.
But I think results would help with it. Because I think right now everybody felt good about Sunday.
They felt
Yeah,
fantastic.
it was an amazing
Right.
start. It
It's
was an amazing
fantastic.
start.
But
Yeah.
we can't leave it there. Because, you know what I
No.
mean? But I just want, personally and on behalf of the CDC and the New York Diaspora Committee, I want to say thank you to all those persons who came out. I mean,
You're welcome.
It meant a lot. It meant a lot. But for me, I mean, going forward, I mean, for those who are listening, because I know you probably have a wide listenership, whether or not they listen now or after, I mean, come to St. Vincent and the
I said
Grenadines. Huh?
I said that earlier.
Yeah,
before you
come
came.
this year in particular. This year in particular, come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because the mission is that when they sit on that flight and they're coming back to wherever they're going, they must feel like if I'm walking with a piece of St. Vincent and the Grenadines with me.
Yes,
and that's visitors I'm talking about. And for those who are not visitors, Vincentians who are living in the diaspora, you must sit on that plane and feel empowered as a Vincentian. And that is the mission for not just for Vincy Mass, because Vincy Mass is one of the vehicles that we're going to start talking about Vincy Day. And then we're going to start talking about independence. And then we're going to start talking about 9 mornings. And then we're going to start talking about steel expressions, of course. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, and trust me, I appreciate this radio station, GMGT. I get a different vibe when I come here. I went to other, let me don't say that, but okay. Yeah, I like the vibe here. And I feel like, I mean, this is our establishment that we could do a lot of work with culturally. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep it that way. And I mean, never mind, this is a Trouble program, this particular program.
Oh my God. Because you wasn't saying that on the morning show.
Nah, the morning show is a different vibe, you know what I mean? But anything to celebrate Caribbean people is something that I love and I respect. I mean, so thank you for having me. And I mean, hopefully we will have more conversations. Hopefully I could help you to get some of these other persons here. And you'll be very honest with them. I think they need to hear it outside of what they're hearing back home.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm big up all the persons who are listening right now. Plenty people listening right now on Chandy.
I didn't know
They put me in plenty problems. Somebody now asked me, what is Caribbean dating? So you explained the New York one, but
I did. Caribbean dating means you're exclusive to that one person, basically.
I don't think that's what it is.
So what is it? So you explain it. You explain it.
I tell you that.
That's why I asked you.
Dating a Vincentian is not for the faint of heart.
Chandy,
Go
come
ahead.
on, don't
Sorry.
be-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's the end of the program, boy. But you just say, I asked you, America or Vincy, and you say Vincy.
Because I love St. Vincent.
So you
That's
don't
my...
like, oh, but I wasn't talking about the country, now.
Oh, I do love Vincy men. I'm not gonna lie, that's my weakness.
So
but that's also a trouble spot.
That is a weakness.
That is a trouble spot for me.
We the best.
Because Vincy men are very
We the best.
You have to have patience with a Vincy man. Number one.
We the best.
Number two, they like to play mind games when they're ready.
Oh God.
Yeah, number two, they're heartbreakers.
What?
They're not for the faint of heart.
Have you
gotta
been
be
with
sure.
every Vincy man?
No, I haven't.
So how you gonna say
I
that?
haven't met a nice Vincy man, a decent
So
Vincy
that's
man.
not a decent Vincy man?
He's my brother. I can't.
Oh, in that
I can't-
context,
yeah,
in that
yeah,
context.
Yeah.
Shandy,
Yeah.
I think you need to spend more time in Vincy then.
So I need to be.
Burn on the road.
I will.
Or somebody pay high tie down.
Nobody have me tied down.
All right, respect. I got That's a sell you out there. That's a sell you out there.
That's why I said no. He just playing music. All right, guys. So
was fun.
This was fun. Yes.
Yeah, man.
This is like the longest we've ever done a show.
Oh my God.
Because it's 12:30, and only because you are a visitor coming in from God knows where, I allowed it to stay this long. I'm surprised Kareem ain't come down and throw us out yet.
Yeah, but you're the one with all these trouble questions.
Not much trouble.
What?
I think this was a soft interview. You don't think this was a soft interview?
It was, in terms of where it could have gone, yeah. But I think it was a great interview. It was very informative and a great conversation.
Yeah. You didn't even get the hardcore questions.
So who stopped you?
Top or bottom?
Top or bottom?
That's one of the questions we always ask, but I didn't ask it tonight.
When you say top or bottom, what do you mean?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Top.
Okay. That's good. Stay on top of your things.
Of course.
As you should.
Boy.
So we're going to say good night to everybody. Once
Good
again,
morning.
good morning. Yes, good morning. Once again, I want to say my name is Chandy, sweet and fluffy like pink cotton candy. I want to say thank you, Rodney, for spending
welcome.
such great time here with us.
Most welcome.
Shout out to Dazzle. Shout out to everybody who stayed on. I think we had a lot of people in Julian's promos and on Twitch that rocked it out with us. If you're going to watch the program tomorrow morning, feel free to comment. Hit us up. Everybody who's on Facebook, on Rodney's Facebook, good night. I don't know who you are, but good night. I don't even know if you could see me, but good night. And shout out to my friends and family. Just remember, each and every Tuesday is Watch Trouble. Shout out to everybody who bought their tickets for Mesfet. If you haven't done so already, please hit me up. Mesfet is this Monday. I shall be there on stage as per usual. We have a solid cast, solid DJs, and I just want to see you guys there. Next Tuesday, we're going to have Smurf and President in the building. And going forward, it's going to be pretty much dedicated artists to Vincy Mass, Grenade Spice Mass, and Lucia. So if you have any artists that you want to come into the studio, preferably into the studio and not via, yeah. Yeah, if you could. I mean, I know things happen, but every time we've had, it's Digicel's problem, not us.
It's not the most.
It's not the most.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not the most fun. But I just want to say good night, guys. It's been real. We appreciate you. Take care.
Later.
Those are I was taken. I do like that. I just wanna be your man. Be your man. I just wanna be your man. Yeah. You're the only one I want. Listen, girl. Girl, you're the only one I want. You're the only one I want. Listen, girl. And even if you have a man, let me be your side man, girl. Your side man. Let me be your side man, girl. Your side man. Let me be your side man, girl. Your side man. Let me be your side man. Let me be your side man. I could be your salad, could be your poster. I could be the one to put your legs on my shoulder. Even if you want to knock it up on the sofa, and it's only midnight, you texting come over. Your man don't love you, girl. No. Cheat on him. Yes. Get away. Yes. Get away. Your man don't love you, girl. No. Cheat on him. Yes. Get away. Yes. Get away. You're the only one I want. Listen, girl. You're the only one I